I'm going to go ahead and just copy that, and I'm going to like open up Notepad, and I'm just going to pull this over on my other screen, and I'm going to leave that there so I don't have to come back for it. The next thing I need to do is we go to the bot setting, and what we do now is we've created an app. So there's what's known as an application in Discord, and you can do a lot of things with them. But now you actually have to add a bot to that app. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click add bot, and it's going to say adding a bot gives your app visible life on Discord. However, the action is irrevocable. Choose wisely, which means that I guess basically like PyRVA will always have a bot. I can delete the whole app, but I can't just delete the bot. It's a little weird. And actually, this might be my client token. We're going to copy that. Is that the same token? It is not the same token. That is actually the token you need, I believe. That one looks right, so I was wrong about that. Okay, and now what we need to do is we need to go to OAuth 2, and we basically need to give our bot some permissions. And what we come down here is we say, hey, this is a bot. And you click on this, and now you're given a URL. And this is actually how you install your bot into Discord. So what we're going to do, though, is we have to grant it permissions. So what I'm going to give it permissions to do is it's going to have the ability to send messages. It's going to have the ability to read message history. And is that it? Is that all? So general permissions, view audit log, manage server, manage channels. I don't want it to have any of these abilities, so I'm not going to give it any of these abilities. It needs to be able to view channels. So if it can't view the channels, then it can't connect into the text channel to do what we're going to have it do. Essentially, our bot tonight is going to take in input. I'm probably going to, like I said, I have one set up. So we're going to do, I call it a random bot, but basically it's going to flip a coin. It's going to roll a dice. It's going to roll a D20 or something, and it's going to pick a card. You were breaking up very badly there. Can you repeat the question? You were breaking up very badly there. Can you repeat the question? Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. If you have a question, I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, keep going. I'll mute them.
Yeah, we're getting a little echo back. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what we need it to be able to do. It needs to be able to view channels. It needs to be able to send messages, and it needs to be able to read the message history, so it can actually get the message as things are happening. So now that we have that, what we do over here is we copy this link and we just paste it, and now it's going to ask us, hey, where do you want to install this bot? And I have 3 servers, one of which I don't even own, but apparently I have bot privileges, so I might go pester my friends later. But my personal server is Coding with Mason. It's my Twitch channel whenever I do live coding and stuff. And I'm going to just go ahead and click continue. It's going to say, hey, are you okay with it having these permissions? And I can actually select and remove permissions if I want, but I want it to have all these permissions. And we're going to go ahead and authorize. And I am a human. And it actually went through. That's nice because I use the Brave browser and it hates CAPTCHAs. So my Discord server, if we go to new arrivals, you will see that PyRVA bot has arrived in my server. So the bot is there, and if we look for it in basically the offline people, it will show up as an offline bot. Until we actually run the bot and run the server, the bot does not appear. So let's go back over here. Good. So that's pretty much like all of the setup we have to do for the Discord bot. The next part is basically writing the code. So now we can go to VS Code. I'm a VS Code person, not a PyCharm person. I actually really like PyCharm, but I like VS Code too, and I wound up on VS Code. So that PyCharm license would be really cool, but I stick with my VS Code for now. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and also if any of this is too small, let me know and I can make it bigger. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do your typical, I'm going to make a virtual environment called Discord-bot. And we're just going to go ahead and source that. And then we're going to just install discord.py. So that goes ahead and installs just the Discord library. That's the only library that we're going to need. And I'm going to go ahead and do a pip freeze requirements.txt because we're going to deploy this to DigitalOcean's app platform, and we actually will need that. And then just because I need Black and Pilot installed, just going to do dev-requirements, which basically allows me to do that, but doesn't put in my requirements. I still need to figure out how to properly manage my production versus non-production packages. I used to use pipenv, and I might actually go back to that, but I need to learn pip tools. It's on my list of things to do. So anyway, we have the Discord bot library installed. We're going to just go ahead and select crap. We have to find this. So
Mason, if you want me to join you sometime on the live stream to do pip tools, I'd be happy to do that.
That would be really cool. I need to learn how to use. Where is? Oh no, it's in like .virtual environments, Discord bot, and then it's in bin. Nope. Where does it get put?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the actual Python.
It's in bin.
It's in bin.
Yeah, scroll down.
Oh, one must. Yeah, I have to scroll. Makes sense. Okay, so hopefully that works. If not, it'll ask me again later. That's one thing about VS Code I don't like is it doesn't automatically pick up virtual environments because I'm doing this on Windows in the Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and import Discord. And what we're going to do is we're going to set our token as an environment variable. So I'm just going to do os.getenv Discord token. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and import OS. So this is going to allow us to basically pull in the token when it's time to deploy it instead of hard coding it in here. We're going to go ahead and do this new thing called intents, which is discord.intents.default. If you're doing anything with members, then you're going to actually have to do more than this. But the intents are basically a way of setting from the code level a more fine-grained permissions, kind of like how we did those checkboxes on permissions when we installed the bot and said we're going to give it voice permissions, we're going to give it sending the ability to send messages and read permissions and all that. Intents are a way to do that from the code level, and it adds another layer of security that hasn't been done yet. So like this is actually a relatively new feature, and it broke pretty much when they released this version of the API, it broke every Discord tutorial on the internet. So you pretty much have to use this now, and that's actually why I'm working on a new tutorial because there needs to be a good Python tutorial on this that isn't broken. So then you go ahead and just say client Discord client intents equals intents. I could set the 3 that I do, but because it's set at the bot level, and because to be honest, I'm being lazy right now, I'm just gonna set the default ones. This is everything minus members and one other like what are known as privileged intents. If managing that at that fine level of granularity is a concern of yours, this is very well documented in the Discord API or the Discord.py API, and which I can show you intents right here. Yeah, and see this default, and then there's all of these basically intents and how you want to do everything, and there's a lot of them. So for now, I'm just kind of going to leave it the way it is. Likelihood is that the default will work for you, and you'll allow people. Whenever you install the bot, you'll allow what permissions you want from there. So the next thing we're going to do is what do we have to do next? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just run like an on ready script. So there's different events that happen. There's on ready, there's on message, on client disconnect. So whenever an action happens within Discord, we can run some code on it. So on ready is one that a lot of people tend to write because like you want to be able to know that the bot has actually connected. So the way that this happens is it's done. They're asynchronous messages. It uses Python async, and it uses decorators to say, hey, this is part of the Discord event. So we're going to say async def on ready. And then basically what we're going to do is, okay, what's this next part of code doing? I have to remember. We're going to print, and then I'll go back to that part in a second. Oh, I keep getting Slack messages. I need to turn off Slack real quick because it's distracting me. Okay, so actually that's not what we're going to do yet. What we're going to do now is we're basically going to say if for guild is in the client.guilds. So for every guild that's in the guilds that the client can connect to, if the guild name guild.name equal my guild, which we haven't done yet. That's why.
Can you
What's up?
clarify what guild means in this
Okay,
context?
yeah, I'm about to go back and do that. So one thing I didn't do up here that I thought I could come back and do at a later time, but I'm not going to, is we're going to set up a guild. So a guild is a server. So whenever you refer to Discord servers, like I think Discord at some point decided that they wanted to change the name from server to guild because they're really trying to market to the gamer base. So they're like, guild, that makes more sense than server. And it's not really sticking. So actually in the Discord documentation, you will see it refer to server or guild, depending on how long it's been since that documentation has been updated. And they basically mean the same thing. So what we're basically going to do here is we're going to go through all the guilds that the bot is connected to. And if the guild is the guild that is like the one that I have, if it is my guild, then we're going to break out of this loop. This is a way of, I think if I'm trying to remember, I remember this being in the tutorial, and I wrote this code a while back. This is a way to ensure that my guild is actually, I think it's actually in there, but we'll actually remove it. We'll see. I'm actually, like, of all the code that I'm looking at, that's the one I don't remember what it does. So Discord guild. So mine would be coding with Mason. This one would be PyRVA. That's the guild. It's just your server name. I really am curious why this code is here. And actually, we're just going to comment it out and we're going to see if it works and see if it makes a difference. Because I love deleting code that I don't remember what it does. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some print statements to say, hey, that we actually worked. So we get, whenever we do a client.event, we get a client variable. And we're just going to say client.user, which is the name of my bot, is connected to the... Oh, that's lazy. That's why that hat works. Okay. Following guild /n. We're going to see if this works. If it doesn't, I know what's wrong, because this is a little bit weird to me. Oh, my F strings, they hurt so much. I did them wrong. There we go. Guild.name. And then I did ID : guild.id. End quote. Save. Nope. Save. Why are you?
I think you need to close your F string curly brace on this. Oh yeah, on that line.
Aha! I do, don't I? Yeah, you're right. Ugh. F strings.
I don't know that you can have \n in the F string either.
I think you can.
Yeah, I think it works. We're gonna find out. If it doesn't, we'll...
I got yelled at for it, so.
Okay, so it's saying undefined variable guild. Okay, so that's what this is for, which is a little bit weird. So this is some weird way, I guess, like, this is what happens when you write code a long time ago and you don't remember what it does. Apparently, this is my way of iterating through the guilds and leaving it in the local scope and then lazily accessing the name later.
Okay.
That feels dirty to me, so when I write my tutorial, gonna try to find a way to fix that. Because I feel dirty. Okay, now we have to actually export the token, which is this one. And since this isn't being recorded, I don't really care if people see it. Discord token, because I'm going to delete this bot in like 20 seconds anyway. And then export, what did I call it? Guild? Discord guild. Discord guild is equal to coding with... Actually, I don't want to do it because it's all coding with Mason. So now if we just do python bot.py. Oh, well, yep, nope, wrong. And then down here, client.run. Oh, the client is the stupid global variable. It's not the client thing. Okay. My brain is slowly turning on. Please forgive me. It's been a long day. Yes, so the client variable that I was referring to earlier is actually because there's a global variable that's a Discord client. So now if we run it, it takes a little bit of time, but it says, hey, the PyRVA bot has connected to coding with Mason. And if I go back to my Discord channel, you can actually see that since the code is running, the bot is online. It's viewed as online. If I Control-C out of this, the bot will eventually update as no longer running. Don't make a liar out of me, Discord. I think it takes a little bit. But it will eventually go back down to not being accessible. So what we've done so far is we've created a client that basically just connects, and then it says, "Hey, you have connected." So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to write a pretty straightforward message parsing thing. So we're going to say at client.event again, and we're actually going to do this on the on message. Cannot type one, and there's a lot of events. So if I go to, it's the event reference. So we're going to use on message, but like there's like on connect, on disconnect, you can do things on ready, on resumed, on error. What are some other cool ones that there's? Like on reaction add. You can even do it like on message edit. So like if someone message edits their message, you can I don't know, you can maybe like call them out on it or something if you're writing a snark bot or something. You can do a lot of things. So it's actually there's from what I've seen, there is no limit to what you can do with Discord bots, which I think is pretty cool. And also mildly terrifying. So the next thing we're going to say is if the message.author is equal to the client.user, we're going to return. Because if we don't do this, we're going to see, we could potentially create an infinite loop and basically blast our server, because we could engineer it in a way where our client would send a message that would trigger another on message, and just, that would be really funny to watch. The Discord people would probably get angry at us. I'm actually curious if it would. I don't know what would happen to a server. I've never tried it, because I'm curious if it would just spam my Discord server like infinitely, or if there actually is a hard limit. That would be interesting to find out. Not going to do it tonight because I don't want to mess it up. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to basically get the message, and we're going to say if the message content, we're going to set it to lower, because I don't like parsing over. I don't like having to deal with case in message content. Then basically I'm just going to go ahead here and just do a random int from random.randint 0,1, and which means now I need to import random. So randint, if randint equals 0, results equals heads, else results equal tails. And then we're just going to do an await. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to do a message.channel.send, which is how we send messages to our channel. And we're going to just say results. And if we do that, and let's come down here and let's run this bot real quick. Whoop, nope, something messed up. I didn't spell it right, did I? I put message connect instead of content. Okay, are we good? Okay, I think we're good. So now if we run this bot again, it is connected. If I go back over to so many Discord channels. If I go back to, let's take this bot and let's put it in a place where it's not going to bother anybody. So where are you at, PyRVA bot? Oh, let's go to Twitch subscriber chat, because I have none. Oh no, I have to add it to that role first. So PyRVA bot roles, let's add it to Twitch subscribers. You could probably do this with I'm curious, I've never actually done that with the code. You could probably do it with the code, but now my bot is here. So if I just type flip a coin, my bot will come back and tell me heads. And we can just, will I get tails? I don't want to have to clean this up later, so I'm not going to keep testing it for tails. But that is essentially a Discord bot. I can add a few more things. Does anyone have any questions or want me to go over anything or any? I'm relatively new when it comes to Discord bots, so I can't go over some of the complicated stuff, but I can definitely talk to you about maybe deploying it. Or does anyone have any questions? I mean, look, I see there's some chat in the text. Let's see if anything's. Oh, no, someone just joined.
So one thing that I am noticing, because this is also, if anyone's noticed, the raffle bot responding to the pick me calls earlier. This is an algorithm test of our own Discord bot here. But I'm realizing that if you try to send back an empty response, it raises an error. So you might have some error checking going there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually never seen that one. Yeah.
Discord errors, HTTP exception 400 bear request cannot send an empty message.
Huh.
There you know.
Yeah, more you know.
Yep.
Can you review real quick where you loop through the servers? I may have missed that part, and why you had to loop through the servers.
Okay, so this was a really I've seen this in every Discord tutorial that I've done, and it's even in the official Discord like documentation. So what this does is this is a really lazy way of getting the guild that I'm currently in. So like I set my guild up here to coding with Mason. This bot could be in multiple guilds, but I only want to I want to actually print the guild.name for when I connect with my guild. So what I'm doing here is I'm looping through all the guilds, and if the guild that name of all the guilds that it's installed into is equal to my guild, then I just break. What this does is that this variable for guild remains, I believe, in this scope, in this namespace. And then when I come down here to this print statement, I can say guild.name and guild.id because I'm not actually assigning it anywhere. So I could be wrong about this, but the only way that I'm thinking of it is that this variable lingers in the namespace inside the scope of this function, and it's just a really lazy way for me to get the name. If I wasn't doing this line right here, I actually would not need this code whatsoever.
Yeah, you're correct. Whenever you do a for loop, whenever you finish a for loop, the last thing that variable stays in scope. So yeah, that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. So this was just a really lazy way of doing it, or it might be a really brilliant way of doing it. I don't know. Like if your bot's in multiple, because that is one thing that's a little bit interesting about Discord bots when you deploy them is that a bot can be in multiple servers, but I do not believe, at least I've never tried it, but I'm going to try it for the tutorial. I think it's the same bot serving all of the different servers. I don't think it's a different instance of each bot per server. So like if I was running a bot that everyone could install in, it would all be running off of one centralized location, and I would need a way of differentiating between the guilds if I was doing anything guild specific. A lot of the bots that I've seen, like in some of my friends' Discords, they have like music playing bots where they tell it, "Hey, play this song or something." That one wouldn't really need like a guild differentiation. I could see how that could be run off of a single bot. So that's a little bit interesting. But yeah, that's what I did here is I basically was keeping the guild in scope so I could print out the name whenever I actually start the bot.
Gotcha. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm new, somewhat new to Discord, and I'm even newer to a bot. So I can't run these bots on somebody else's server, right? I was just wondering how do you prevent somebody from coming up with a wacky bot that goes nuts?
So you can, as we saw earlier, I can actually run this bot on one of my friend's servers because he has not locked me out of it. Discord, I don't know if Discord servers have changed because this was a relatively old server, but the server used to be like whenever you set up a server, you set up permissions on who has the ability to post and do what where.
Yeah.
Discord used to be a very, very permissive and like everybody can do everything. And since it was trying to be a collaboration platform, it didn't really block a lot of people out of bots. We've seen Discord grow because I've been using Discord since 2016. So and that server's really old. So it might have been from that. We've seen Discord grow into, it's no longer the niche gamers tool anymore. It's actually being used for a lot of things. So if you're setting up a Discord server, you would want to make sure that you properly set up permissions to make sure that someone can't randomly install a bot in your server.
And if a bot goes rogue, how do you stop that bot and get rid of it?
You can always just kick it. So like if I want to go to my server and I want to get rid of the bot right now, I could come right here and I could just right click on it since I'm one of the Moderators, I can just kick
yes.
it, and that will uninstall the bot, which I think is actually a really cool way of doing it, because if you've ever tried to purge a Slack bot from Slack, it can be a little bit it can be a little bit irritating to try to find where all that's at. But with bots are treated like normal users. So if
Yeah.
the same way that I would deal with a disgruntled user is the same way I would deal with a rogue bot.
Perfect.
Can you go to or back real quick to where you were adding it to your server? Because you're currently in the PyRVA server, but I think that should show that, or it shouldn't come up on your list of.
Well, this is my personal server right here.
Like
So
when you go back,
the copy this.
yeah, the link.
Yeah, so when you show it up, when you click on it,
Yeah.
like these are the servers that I have. Like this one is mine. The hiding hole is my friend's server. That's like a very old one. And then there's Unlocked DDU, which is a dead open source project that I used to run. That maybe one day I'll bring it back. But these are the servers that I have the ability to install into. And because my friend left this open, I might torture him later. Because that's how we show love. We torture. But we'll I don't know why. I actually don't know why I have permission to that, because I'm in, as you could see from my sidebar in Discord, I'm in a lot of servers, and that's the only other one I have the permissions to post into.
But that's how you prevent people from posting bots into your own server.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you would definitely just not allow it. And I think now Discord doesn't allow it by default. I think they've tweaked their permissions to be a little bit more restrictive than when they first launched. When they first launched, it was the Wild West. Anybody could do anything. It was kind of fun back then. You could just get in a Discord server and just kick someone out. Anyone could do it. It was kind of funny.
Mason, can you run multiple bots on one server, or do you need to build it as one big bot?
Multiple bots on one server. They're all different users. They all behave. They all ingest the same thing. So yes, I've been in servers that have had multiple bots, and you can run them. You can combine them if you want. It just depends. Like if you're running two bots that do entirely separate things, and it doesn't make sense to combine the code, don't just run two separate bots.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Cool.
So this bot could do anything. I could instantiate a bot that could play a video back or music or anything.
Well, video, I don't know if where video would I don't know if Discord supports it. Maybe, I don't know. But yes, I've been in Discord servers where what it does is if it wants to play music, it joins the voice channel and it streams the audio through the bot into the voice channel.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Discord bots are really, really cool. And as you can see up here, so let's just look at the API for voice related. Let's zoom in because it's a little bit. Come on. Like you can choose different audio. You can choose different audio sources. Like FFmpeg. Whoa, come on. But like you can choose like come on. I think I broke my browser. Anyway, let's scroll in a little bit and not use the infinite wheel. But yes, you can choose different audio sources. They support webhooks, so they can receive information as well from outside sources. There is a lot of really cool power to Discord bots, and it's honestly something I'm probably going to start digging into, because we're definitely seeing a lot more open source and meetup communities moving to Discord. Like, there was the big migration to Slack, but a lot of people are moving off of Slack. It's something that I'm definitely seeing in my job. So yeah, you can do anything with them. I can post, this is on the discord.py.readthedocs.io if you're interested. It's a great library. Any other questions before I move on? Okay, I'll go ahead and go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to deploy this to DigitalOcean's app platform. So real quick, for those of you that aren't aware of DigitalOcean's app platform, I'll do a quick, I'll show you what it is and then we'll deploy it. Let me log in. Also, if anyone has never used DigitalOcean before and would like basically a free trial offer, I'm going to put a link in the text channel. And that that basically is a $100 credit for 60 days, 2 months. Yeah, 60 days to try it out. And if you want to build a bot and you have an account, I can drop you like $10 if you want, because I have access to do that. So, two-factor auth. Woohoo. Okay, so DigitalOcean's app platform is, so first off, if you're not aware of DigitalOcean, because you may not be, DigitalOcean is a cloud provider, and we market ourselves as the, come on, go back. Why are you not going back to cloud? There we go. We market ourselves as the developer cloud. We're also a really good cloud for small and medium business. We get a, like, that's one of our things. But if you're not aware of our cloud, you're probably aware of, our tutorial site. DigitalOcean tutorials are, I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but we're kind of the gold standard when it comes to sysadmin tutorials. Like if I want to install Nginx on Ubuntu, we're typically like one of the first ones that comes up. And this is where if you are curious on how to do this, like with the Discord bot, I'm working on a tutorial now on how to do all of that. So I will post whenever it's in. But so if you're not familiar with the cloud product, you may be familiar with our tutorials. And so basically we have your typical cloud provider offerings. We have what we call droplets, which are basically server compute. We have managed Kubernetes, which actually is just hosted vanilla Kubernetes. So if you've ever been wanting to play around with Kubernetes, but you're worried about learning another cloud provider's Kubernetes platform and worry about what if they change to lock it in, DigitalOcean's Kubernetes service is vanilla Kubernetes. Like you can take your kube spec and deploy it to your own Kubernetes cluster and it works. We've got databases, we've got S3 compatible type, we've got container imagery, we've got load balancers, all the fun stuff. Our latest product is what's known as App Platform, which is basically a way to deploy containers to the cloud. Think Heroku. This is basically a next generation Heroku. So what we're going to do is we're going to deploy this by, first of all, adding it to a GitHub repository. And if you haven't ever seen, I don't know if y'all saw it, but if you've never used these .new domains, like there's like repo.new, I love these. These are my favorite now because I just type in repo.new and GitHub bought it and it goes right into making a new repo. There's like docs.new, which opens up a new Google Docs thing. They're awesome. But we're just gonna go ahead and call it Discord bot. Crap, I've already got something in my thing that called, we do Discord bot without the dash? We can, yay. I already had something in there. So, and we're just going to create the repository. And then I'm just going to get init, get add -a. Well, wait, crap. Get rm.vscode settings.json. I don't want to add that. The -f. Oh, we deleted it. I don't care. Get commit -s -m init commit, and I'm going to assign my PGP key over here. Cool. And then we just do get branch -m main get okay, never. We'll do get push and it'll tell me how I messed up. Oh no, get remote add. That's what I haven't done yet. Get remote add. Get push origin main. Haha, got it. Okay, so now if I refresh here, my code should be here. So I have my bot, I have my requirements.txt. That is all that I'm going to need to deploy this to DigitalOcean's app platform. So I'm just going to go ahead and create an app. And I'm going to configure my GitHub repository to allow me to actually do it. And we're going to select our repository, Discord bot. So we're just going to select that one and click save. Discord bot. and we're gonna give it whatever name we want. We can choose which region you want to put it in. Right now we support 3 regions. We're going to go ahead and say branch main, auto deploy code changes. So every time I push, my bot will be automatically deployed and updated. All of this, by the way, is built on top of Kubernetes. So, like, yeah, if you were just curious, like this is basically the DOKS offering, the DigitalOcean Kubernetes offering that we offer to customers that people can buy. We basically built a PaaS on top of it and are now selling a platform as a service. Now, this is where it's a little bit weird, and we're going to have to deploy this app, and it's actually going to have to break. And then we're going to deploy it the right way, because there's 4 types of components inside of inside of that platform. There's what's known as a web service, which is exactly what you would think it would be. It's a service that's accessible via HTTP across port 80 and port 443. There's a static site, which is basically just distributes static files to our global CDN using us and Cloudflare. And that way, if you want to build like just a static HTML site, you can do that. Then there's databases, which we're not going to need for this one anyway. And then there's another thing called workers. And workers are a little bit interesting because they are basically the same thing. They're web services, but they don't have a public IP, and they do health checks a little bit differently. So why we can't use a web service instead of like where we need to use a worker is the web service actually does an HTTP health check to see if my HTTP server is up. I'm not running an HTTP server because Discord bots are deployed differently than Slack bots. If this was a Slack bot, I would do a web service and it would be no problem, because Slack, you basically run it with Flask and it sits there and it opens up, basically just sits there on, port 443, and it listens for incoming traffic, and that's how it ingests it, and that would be fine. Now, our UI does not allow you at the moment to go straight into deploying a worker, because whenever they were designing it, it didn't really make sense at the time. They're working on hopefully fixing that. If you were to do this via the command line using we have a specification file and like our own command line tool, 100% you could do this without it having to do this. But what we're gonna have to do now is we have to do a little hack. We're gonna deploy it as a web service. It's gonna fail. We're gonna add a worker to our app, and then we're going to delete the web service, and it'll work. It'll make a little bit more sense once it's actually running. We're just gonna run python3 bot.py, and we're gonna click next. And so for $5 a month, which is, if you're used to DigitalOcean, that's the standard price of our 1 gigabyte droplet. 1 gigabyte, 1 CPU, 1 gigabyte of droplet. You can get basically it's a running Docker container, 512 megs of RAM, 1 virtual CPU. You are limited to 40 gigabytes of outbound transfer, 400 bill minutes, and you can incur a little bit of extra pricing on top of that. I haven't really seen a lot of people go over it yet. And then if you were to go to like the pro plan, this is where people kind of really like the pro plan, because with the basic plan, I can just select like I want a 4 gigabyte container with 2 vCPUs. Or if I go with the pro plan, then I'm now allowed to do I can just scale out my app via containers. So if I wanted to, it doesn't really work with the Discord bot, but if I want to with like say a web service and I'm on pro, it's click button to add more services. So there's vertical and horizontal scaling if you need it. We're going to stick with the basic plan for now, and we're going to go with the $5 a month one, because if you don't use more than what you need. So we're going to go ahead and launch this app. And I'm already telling you that it will fail. And let me while it's failing, I'll show you why. So the cool thing about this is that you can create your app and keep all of the components together. So what I can do now is I can create a static site, and it will be associated with this app. So say I'm deploying an e-commerce site, something like that. I can deploy a service, a static site, a database, all of these things in a single area, and then I can access it. So while this is not working, we're going to go over here to worker, because this is the one that's a little bit different. So Discord bot, we're going to call it Discord bot worker, I guess. It doesn't really matter. The build command, the run command is going to be python3 bot.py. And we're going to stick with the $5 a month plan. And we're going to launch the worker. So the worker will allow us essentially to just, it's not going to have that same health check. It's not going to look for a healthy HTTPS hosting. So then it will work. And because we really don't need it to be public, like we could we could run this on an Nginx server. Let's say, let's make it work as a web service. We could do from Nginx with our own Docker container, install Python, set up a health check that just says I'm here, and then run our Python app. That could be a way to get around it. It's unnecessary. Like, why don't do unnecessary things? Don't open yourself up to, it'd be really difficult to hack a static Nginx site, but crazier things have happened. So don't worry about it. Like, don't expose yourself to the internet if your app doesn't need it. The safest place from the internet is off the internet. So this Discord bot web service is going to fail, and honestly, I'm gonna just destroy the component because I know it's not going to work. It's not what I wanted. We did it so we could get to the Discord bot worker. Now the only thing is that, can I view the logs? Deployments, that's where I go, right? There we go. So now I can view the live logs as it's building. And it's just going to build our app, and it's going to bring it up and run it. And now we're going to wait. This is a little bit, teensy bit slow. Why are you installing SQLite? Oh, now I have questions. Anyway, so does anyone have any questions about deployments or anything? We've got a little bit of time while we wait for this to build. If you want, I can also deploy this onto a droplet, like just a virtual private server, to show you how to do that too.
So I know with Heroku, you can have instances that will spin up on demand, but I assume that's not something that would be useful for Discord bot, assuming that the Discord bot just needs to be alive 24/7 anyway. Is that correct?
That would be my assumption. Yeah, especially because it's not sending, because Discord connects out, it's not receiving like an HTTP request. Like if you were running this, say, on somebody's serverless function where you were doing cold starts, you could probably get away with it. It depends on how quickly the bot were to wake up. But seeing as how we don't have that web server to receive the request, that we could actually set up a trigger to launch a cold start, then I don't see how you could do it with the Discord bot. I bet I could do it with the Slack bot, but I don't think I can with the Discord bot just because of the architecture of the Discord bot.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was figuring.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, it's a guess. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Anything else I want to talk to you about with?
Out of curiosity, that building process, does that happen every time you deploy your code to it, or is it just this initial?
So it does cache containers. So if not too much has changed, it does try to do with some of the layer caching. It does build your app every time because it doesn't really know where you've left off. But if it's hopefully going to try to do Docker container builds. We are working on speeding this process up. I would say that right now, in my mind, the most the thing that's irks me the most about that platform right now is the deployment speed. Like it just takes a bit. Once it's up and running, smooth sailing. And if you're not like if you don't have to deploy patches in a hurry, and by in a hurry I mean like within 30 seconds, then you're fine. But as someone who also used to work as an SRE, deploying things in a hurry very rarely ever goes the way you want it to. As one of my coworkers used to say, there are old sysadmins and there are bold sysadmins, but there are no old bold sysadmins. So yeah, but we're almost done. This one should be relatively straightforward. Yep, and we're deployed. So now if I go to the actual logs, did I make a boo-boo? Object none type has no attribute strip.
Oh, you don't have the tokens.
Ah, you're right. So let's just go over here and let's add those. So we're gonna say, what was this called? This was okay. These are app level, or these? Okay, that's not what I want to do. So DigitalOcean has two types. There's app level environment variables, which basically everybody that's deployed will have access to these variables, which I don't want. I want to add my environment variables here. So we're going to say Discord guild is coding with Mason. It's almost like I've done this before. And then my Discord token is this right here. And we're going to encrypt it and we're going to save it. Okay. And now I think it's going to do another build, because right now I don't like, there's two different types of environment variables. There's there's three types. There's build time environment variables, runtime environment variables, and build and runtime environment variables. So I think right now by default everything is a build and runtime. In the UI you can specify it from the app platform spec. So it is going to do a quick little rebuild real quick here. But yes, thank you. I completely forgot to add the environment variables, but that's how I would do it. And if I wanted to add like a static site, I could add, a static site. We have these things called jobs, which basically run before or after a deploy. I have working on coming up with stuff to use for those. Setting up like a Django site is a good example of using that. So, does anyone else have any more questions?
Jokingly, only to pass time. Why don't you just put your token in your source code?
Oh, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. I actually really like the environment variable thing with this, because it makes my life so much easier. Secret delivery is never fun.
But yeah, for those who aren't as familiar with what these tokens do and all that stuff, it's your for your bot. So
Yeah,
you don't want to pass that out to the world.
Yes, that would be bad. And GitHub would probably yell at you a little bit, because I think it has some way of detecting. But yeah. And we could have hard coded Guild, but honestly, to make the bot more portable, we didn't, because again, that's hard coding Guild wouldn't have been as heinous of a crime as hard coding a token, but it still is kind of like so. Let's see, where are we at with our view logs? It looks like this one got stuck rebuilding the Docker image because it thinks it's a build time environment variable. If you really want to get like the speed and the performance and like the stuff out of that platform, you have to use the command line tool. It also does have the ability that I really do like now, is we have a container registry. So if anyone needs, by the way, if anybody needs a container registry, like you want a place to put your Docker files, and you want, like we do, I do believe we have a free tier of this. Let me change teams and I'll check. But if you're looking for a small place to put some container no, I have one here too. Crap, but I don't need this one anymore. So let's just destroy it, and then yeah. So we have a free starter registry that holds up to 500 megabytes if you want a place to privately be able to store container registry or Docker images. But what you can do now is you can build your Docker image yourself on your machine, and then upload it to this container registry. And when you just deploy to app platform, you can select from there, and it goes like super fast. Okay, so it's deployed now. So let's go to the logs. And as you can see, our connection text is there. And if I go back to my thing and I flip another coin, it's Tails this time. Woohoo. So now the bot is running on app platform. It's currently costing about $5 a month to run it. I don't know if I would spend $5 a month on a flip a coin bot, but I know some people have probably way more interesting ideas than I do. And actually, let me just demonstrate one other thing real quick: the automatic update. So yeah, there we go. So we take this code, and let's just there's a lot of I stop with flip a coin, but I had a whole. Is it all over too far? No, it looks like it's the indentations right. We'll see if it complains. How's the former not installed? A formatter? Oh, because I deleted the VS Code settings. Either way. Let's just reopen that up real quick. Enter interpreter path. Find. Home. dot virtual environments. Discord bot bin. Python 3. Good. Let's save that. Okay, so this now adds a whole. Oop, we got an error. Where do we have the error? What are you complaining about? Oh, there. So now we've added a whole bunch of other. So now you can roll a die or roll a dice, and if you say that, it'll rolls or run through 6. You can roll like a D20 or a D100 or whatever you want, and you can do a pick a card. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is, well, one we're going to get add bot.py, get commit -s-m, adding more features. And then we're going to push. Wait, I already did that. Okay, so now we go back to GitHub. Okay, we see that we've 23 seconds ago, we had it. And as you can see, since we did check deploy, our bot is automatically going to deploy. So what happens here is it's going to attempt to deploy. It does not take down our previous deployment until the other one has succeeded. And if it doesn't, if this deployment for some reason didn't succeed, it would immediately roll back to the old version. So this is going to be a zero downtime upgrade or failure or rollback. So that is another one of the features. And then we can say, hey, pick a card or something. I've got a whole. If anyone's interested in the code that I put in here, that is that's the code that I have. I've got a whole bots workshop that I'm working on for for PyCon. I'm working on it. And it's basically you're gonna build a Slack bot and a Discord bot, and we're gonna make a mirroring service. And it's gonna use Redis as a queue, and then if someone posts in Slack, it's gonna post it to the Discord. If someone posts in the Discord, it's gonna post it in the Slack. And just a kind of a little way of teaching bot deployment and stuff. So it's like a 3-hour workshop I'm going to work on. But yeah, you can look at my code there. It's going to deploy. That's pretty much all I have, unless anyone wants me to. I don't know. I can't juggle, but I can read to you from Fluent Python, which is right here on my desk. I also have classic computer science programs in Python, and my favorite one, the Network Nomicon SNMP Mastery, which if you don't know what SNMP is, good for you, because it's an old protocol. Any questions?
I have a question about when you're testing locally, do you just hard code the token, or do you put it in a file and reference the file?
I exported the token. So what I had done earlier is export, as you can export Discord guild coding with Mason and then my token. That sets them as environment variables, which is the exact same way that it's going to run on the server. So what I did from here is I would export my tokens and have them running in the environment, and then I would just hit run python bot.py, and it would be fine. And that's how it would work.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Where are we at? What is up with SQLite? I'm gonna have to ask about that. Does pip use SQLite now as some sort of dependency checker? I don't know. I need to figure out what's going on with it. Well, Chris, once this is gonna finish deploying a little bit, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been great.
Hey, I have another question about the permissioning. Well, not permissioning from the Discord organization level. Do they do any kind of oversight of bots? Do they even care what's running? I know you said they used to be more open.
So I did see something in the Discord developer portal a while. Where was it at? So if your bot, it might have been in the documentation. If your bot is going to be using privileged intents, which are basic, if I remember correctly, the privileged intents. Let's see if we can find them in here. Does it show me? Privileged gateway intents. These are privileged, and what do these actually say? These are, ooh, wow. Where are the privileged ones? Okay, so guild presences and guild members. So if you, in order to specify these intents of your identity payload, basically once your bot is in 100 or more guilds, your bot has to be verified. So if you're doing this for your own thing, no, then you're fine. Like if you're doing it for you and for a couple of friend servers, and that's only if you're using these privileged intents, which are the guild presences and the guild members. Because in reality, and I'm guessing what they're figuring out is like I keep Discord open on my desktop all the time because I'm in a lot of different developer communities and stuff, and I, like, as a developer advocate, my job is to deal with that. But someone could track you and your presence, because your presence, like when you're online on Discord, it pops up. So someone could track, and like it right now on mine it says playing VS Code, but there could be some malicious things done with it. So yeah, that's why they've had to create privileged intents now. Well, that's how they had to create intents in the first place, because I had never seen this before until I think I did a presentation in November about this, and like the day, like I went and did the presentation the day they released it, and it broke all of my sample code, and I had to fix that on the fly. But yeah, if you get to a certain amount, they are gonna start moderating you. But it is probably one of the most lax, like Slack, with Slack bots, like it takes a bit to get through and get like your bot verified and put on the store and stuff. Discord's still a relatively easy place to do that with.
Kind of a follow-up question on that. I don't want to take up if anyone else has questions, but as for like from a usage perspective, like processing usage on the Discord server, does it? I mean, I realize the bot has its own instance here on DigitalOcean, but would it affect any kind of would it cause the Discord server to slow down at any point? I mean, could it do that, or do they
I don't
balance that?
I don't think so, because all the Discord bot is doing is sending all the Discord server, quote unquote, all the Discord servers that are owned by the Discord people, all it's doing is sending the data, and then it's doing nothing. Now, I guess there could be some scenario where you had hundreds of bots talking, and they all were kind of feeding off of each other, and it was doing this like crazy processing. There could be something like that, but no, I would say that, well, one, if you found that, you should write a conference talk on that, because I guarantee you no one else has. But no, I don't think Discord, like things like Discord and Slack, aren't going to jeopardize the integrity of their system for your bot. Like that's just not how they're going to do it. So I severely doubt that would ever be a problem. It's more likely that you're going to run out of compute power on your machine before they run out of compute power on theirs.
Okay. I was thinking more of like a use case of like, well, I have a 3D printer, and I was thinking of like, I have some friends who want some prints done, and if I create a Discord bot that controls my 3D printer, then if every time it does a print, it'll take a picture, upload it to the server, or add it to the server, and each client is going to be, I assume each client in Discord is downloading that image or to view it, or at some point. And I'm wondering if I'm like giving an update every 5 seconds or something, or I don't know, every minute for the print, and it might, I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly think that I think you'd be bottlenecked by your internet first. I think that uploading that much data, even it wouldn't be that much, but I think you're going to find other bottlenecks there before you run into Discord having a problem, because each of the clients that's downloading it is downloading it using their personal PC's compute power. Now, if you did send a picture every 5 seconds, like as someone who's in a lot of Discord servers, you should add here everybody to get everyone's attention every 5 seconds. That'll make you a lot of friends. I don't think. Now, I would actually be more concerned about making a Discord bot that controls my 3D printer. That sounds more scary than anything else that you've said. No, I don't
All
have
right.
any problem.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was a really interesting talk.
Yay! Thank you. I'm glad. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like, it's fun.
Have you noticed any Discord features that require like payment or anything for the bots, or this is all free, right?
Yeah, I've never seen anything for Discord. The only that's I've always been curious how Discord makes money, because they cannot be selling enough Nitro subscriptions to run a profitable company. So they're
Well,
selling the data somewhere. Yeah, I guess maybe server boost or something. But even then, like, really, I was curious about that because like DigitalOcean set up, we run the Hacktoberfest server, and like we're a verified server. We've got that little green check mark. It's so cool. And I was curious if we had to pay for. I assume we did, but I'm unaware, so I was not part of that decision. So I've never seen anything. I don't know of a bot marketplace that sells bots. That's pretty cool. But I imagine that you pay those developers directly. Like you're not paying Discord for that. Yeah. That's honestly a genius idea, and this is why I'll never be a startup founder, because I just don't have the spark to create ideas like that. Like I can build you whatever you want, but somebody else come up with the ideas, I'll just build it. Cuz like just paying to skip the line and people pay for. I'm always astonished by what people will pay for. And it's cool. But that's a really cool bot. I like that. It's what'd you call it? Raid bots? That's really cool. I might tell some of my friends about that.
Mason, have you done anything with like to drive data out to other sites or interact with other sites? I know the webhook absolutely grabbed my attention when I saw that you could use interaction with Discord to drive something happening outside of Discord.
When you say send data to other sites, do you mean like just offload the data? Like you want to pump the user data to like a database or something?
Sure, something like that. Or taking your heads and tails example, if you wanted to flip a coin and record it in a database, or drive it to another site for some piece of information. Have you done anything with that?
I haven't, but it wouldn't be like terribly difficult to feature. So if the other site has an ingestion endpoint, then I would just I would hit it with say requests or HTTPX. Actually, that's kind of going to be almost what this full bots workshop, when I'm done writing it, is going to be, where it's going to mirror messages across Slack and Discord. So if I post a message to my friends in Slack, it'll mirror it across to Discord so we can talk about it. And that kind of stuff, what I was planning on doing was just using Redis and using Redis queue. And just whenever someone posts in Slack, the Slack bot is going to take the message, post it into a queue, and then Discord will periodically pull from the queue and send the message, and vice versa, and they're going to send to each other. So you could use any sort of message bus system for that. You could use Redis queue, you could use RabbitMQ. If it's at a very large scale and you have nothing but time, you could use Kafka. Kafka's a lot though. That's like using that's like dropping a house on an ant to kill it. So little bit out of it's a lot. But yeah, that's what I could think of. And also go ahead.
Immediately, I was going to say I thought of subscriptions and stuff like that if people wanted to log their information or something like that.
I don't know. It would be pretty interesting. And I can also answer any questions that anyone else has. It doesn't have to just be about this. Like if you have questions about anything, I can try to answer them.
One thing I've been considering doing is trying to log like attendance on these Discord sessions so we can compare like Meetup RSVPs to Discord attendance and see what the discrepancy really ends up being.
Yeah, you could probably do like an on voice channel join, and then just push their name into a set, and then go from and then just do a comparison. Be kind of cool.
Do we want to pick the raffle winner, Chris?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Oh, actually, let's do one last chance for anybody who joined late. I can go ahead and turn my video too since I'm talking now. Yeah, if you are interested in winning a year's license to PyCharm, in the text channel, go ahead and write "pick me," and in the next couple seconds, I will tell our new Discord bot to pick a winner. I think we have 3 entries so far, so your chances are pretty good. Otherwise, Mason, thank you so much. Thanks again for coming out and doing that. That was really, really great. I know a lot of people. I mean, this is one of the largest audiences we've had on Discord, so I'm excited for that. And so I think a lot of people found it valuable. Nothing like turning on a camera to make you speak differently. Anyway,
I am noticing that G. Thomas posted in the room 1 text, and the bot caught it over there too. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's good. All right. Well, I'll wait just 2 more or a couple more seconds, just in case anybody else. I'm not seeing any people typing, so I'll just go ahead and pick the winner. And it looks like Terry won. Terry Richmond won. So Terry, I will send you a direct message with the license. Otherwise, I'm trying to think. Was there something else we were going to talk about? If you're interested in staying late or whatever, I don't know how long, Mason, if you need to take off whenever. I mentioned we're just going to hang out a little bit after this to just hang out and chat. One thing that we mentioned is we could share the code to our bot just as people can see another example of what Discord bot looks like. But with that, I think that's about all we have. I should have looked up to see what next Thursday is our coding night, and I actually don't know the
topic. Don't have a topic yet.
We don't have a topic yet. Okay, we'll be figuring that out. But it's going to be here on Discord, and it's going to be fun. So come on out for that. And I think that's it. With that, I'll just open the floor up to just general chatting.
Does anyone want to see the